welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Elite Dangerous and to my channel. And this is a very quick video, hopefully, about mapping buttons, because some strange things happen when you change the controls on Elite Dangerous. Now, I want to play Elite Dangerous with mouse and keyboard, okay? You've got to be so careful when you're changing your controls. I'm on custom because I have a couple of things set up that I need to have set up, okay? Now, one thing I've got to say before you make any changes, bear in mind that if it goes wrong, you have to be prepared to go back and reset all of your settings, okay? So because I plugged in my PS4 controller, the game overrode all of my settings, okay? So I then had to go back and put keyboard and mouse in, add all of my custom bits such as whatever, all this stuff, use chaff launcher here, night vision is this button, etc., because I have voice attack on as well, so the game responds to my voice. The FSS had some stuff that needed to be changed, and the detailed surface scanner definitely had some stuff that had to be added in because there was just nothing there whatsoever. These were empty, for example. If you want to have a look at these for mouse and keyboard, this is how I have it. Detailed surface scanner, exit mode is backspace. I have that pretty much for everything, and I just have yaw and pitch on for that, and you obviously fire it with whatever button you've got it mapped to in the fire group. Again, the FSS, if we get up to the top, I just have it, I just leave it as default. Put the tuning sensitivity up a bit. I don't do that discovery scan, I don't really deal with it. I've got two buttons for leaving, and I just changed this, I think, to your pitch inverted, but that's fine. You can make any of these changes yourself. What I really want to talk about is the driving controls, because I want to drive with a PS4 controller. Now, I've had to reset all of my keyboard and mouse settings with the PS4 controller in, which will become my custom settings going forward. So what was happening, I was making my keyboard and mouse as my custom because I have extra things, and then I'd plug the PS4 controller in and it would think I was trying to play the whole game with the PS4 controller, so it was all going random. Okay, but I have some keyed maps that I'm going to put here. Here we go. Let's get it done. Steering axis. This is it. This is what happens. You see, you can't do it. Okay, now I've put, it's changed now to joystick X axis. Now what I had to do there is unplug the PS4 controller, plug it back in. Now what I've got to see is that it hasn't took off my mouse controls. You've got to be so, it's so tricksy. It is so bloody tricksy. Okay, steering axis. Why would that be inverted, you crazy people? I'm going to leave these keyboard shortcuts here as well, just because, why not? I'm going to do it. Now the roll axis I also put on X. So what that means is when you're on the ground, putting left and right will steer your SRV left and right. When you're in the air, it will roll you left and right instead of sort of yawing you in the air. Why does it keep changing that to inverted? That is weird, man. Okay, the pitch axis is going to be up and down on the L stick, And it keeps changing it to regular. So bizarre. Okay, so this is how I've got my stuff setting. You can literally just copy these through if you want. We always leave drive assist, that's Z anywhere on the game for the ship or in the SRV, so I leave it at that. Drive assist default, when you get into the SRV from your ship, it's on. Fine, you can turn it on and off. So here we go. Steering is on the L stick, okay, on the PlayStation controller. Could be an Xbox controller, doesn't make any difference. The roll axis is on the left stick. The pitch axis is on the left stick, up and down, okay, pointing the nose up and down. Vertical thrusters are going to be L3, okay. That Windows thinks that's Joy 11 because that's what it is in the controller mappings, but that's what it's going to be, okay. Primary fire is going to be R1, okay. There it is. R1 is now in. Secondary fire, left one. So they're the shoulder buttons, not the triggers. They're the shoulder buttons because you're going to use the triggers for your throttle, okay? So primary fire on right one, secondary fire on left one. This is just so that you can have... I want to play the game flying with mouse and keyboard, and then when I'm in the SRV, and probably when we are going to be on foot in Odyssey, I want to be able to use the controller. But trying to play the game just with the controller, maybe I should do that, but I'm not going to do it. All right, I'm not doing it. Handbrake, we're going to have that as circle, which is Joy 3. Okay, so what we've got here, vertical thrusters, we have L3, push down on the left stick. Primary fire, SRV primary fire 1 is right 1. Secondary fire is left 1, the two shoulder buttons. Handbrake is circle. Headlights. Headlights is... How do you do the lights? You do it with left on the D-pad and circle. Joy POV 1 left plus Joy 3. Okay, so that's how you sort your lights out. You hold down circle and you push left on the D-pad. Okay. Now toggle turret, easy, square. That gets you in and out of the turret. Joy 1 is square on the PlayStation controller. Okay. Cycle the next 5 groups. We're just going to leave those as is. I'm not too worried about that. When you're in an SRV, it doesn't really make any difference anyway. Okay. So then we go on to the targeting. Amazing. Target is just going to be X. X for your target ahead. That's what you want. I mean, it's so simple. It's ridiculous. Now the turret controls. We are going to have the turret. See, currently the turret is on the mouse as well, which we can leave this. I'm going to leave it on the mouse. That's absolutely fine. I don't care. But I'm going to say the SRV turret yaw axis is going to be R right stick left or right stick right. Okay, and that's Joy Z. That's the axis. That'll be fine. The pitch axis is RZ, and I'm going to put that back to regular as well. Now, to be fair, I might need for some of these back up here. Steering should be fine, but this pitch axis, I think I have it inverted. So I think when I push up on the stick, I want the nose to point down. So I think that is inverted, okay? And I will do the same for this pitch axis as well. There you go. So that's all you're doing here. You're still allowing yourself to move the mouse if you want to do this, but I'm not bothered. Throttle, nice and easy. All you want to change are the accelerate button. Sorry, it's the accelerate axis. And I'm going to put that as right trigger. Decelerate axis, left trigger. So you hold right trigger to put your axis, your acceleration in. You hold left trigger to slow down. That is it. The drive speed axis, don't worry about any of this stuff. Just pop it in as I've got it here, and you want it full range and continuous. Okay. Accelerate axis, decelerate axis. That's what we've got. Accelerate axis is right trigger, decelerate axis is left trigger. Happy days. All this stuff should remain the same as what it is on your ship anyway. And then to recall and dismiss the ship, I'm just gonna put something on here that I don't really use. In fact, I don't even know what I would do. You would essentially just push 3 on the keyboard and do it from there. But if you wanted to put something on here, you could put whatever you want, such as circle and up on the point of view thing. So that's you sorted. But usually you would just push 3 and then move it down and sort out what you were doing. Open discoveries, I actually have that as set to 7, which is totally different. Switch cockpit mode, I have that set to 0, which is different. Galaxy map, I have it set to 5. System map, I have that set to 6. But they are my bindings, okay? So just bear that in mind. You will probably have different numbers for this. So this is going to allow me to use my SRV with a PlayStation controller, but I can still fly my ship and play the game normally with keyboard and mouse, which is what, for some strange reason, that's what I want to do on the PC. Okay, so I'm going to apply that. I'm just going to go back in and have a little look, so we can have a look. So driving, here we go. Drive assist Z as normal on the keyboard. Drive assist default is on. The steering axis is left on the left joystick. Roll axis is left on the left joystick. It's the same. Pitch axis is up and down on the left. So everything to do with moving the SRV is on the left, and I have that inverted. It's totally up to you what you do with that. Thrusters, R3. Nice. R3 does your boosty boost. I mean, if you prefer to have that somewhere else, put it somewhere else. But I have it on left 3. Sorry, Joy 11 is left 3. Primary fire, right 1. Secondary fire, left 1. Handbrake, circle. SRV turret is square. Headlights is circle and left. And then you've got loads of other things that you can put for different controls if you like. Targeting, we have X for target ahead. Turret, leave all this mouse stuff, you don't need to worry about it, but you put the yaw axis regular on the right stick. So when you switch to the turret, you use the right stick to move the turret around, which allows you to still control the SRV with the left stick if you need to. So you can reverse and sort of reverse backwards, sideways, to the left, to the right, and still be able to control the turret with the right stick. Okay, so the yaw axis on the right stick, left and right. The pitch axis here inverted for me because that's how I want it. Up and down, that's how I do it. Mouse sensitivity, don't worry about it. That's all about when you've got dual control, which you do. Make sure your throttle axis range is full. Your increments to continuous, and then all you do is change the accelerate axis to the right trigger and the decelerate axis to the left trigger. Okay, and that is you sorted. And then whatever miscellaneous things you've got, if you want to change any of these things, you can change these things. And then the mode switches will be the same as the ship essentially. So that's what you'll have. That will give you the capabilities to fly your ship with keyboard and mouse, and then as soon as you get out of your ship in your SRV, to pick up the controller and drive around, which for me is exactly how I want to play the game. Take your time, go back through some of those settings if you want, but as I said, please be aware, if anything goes wrong with this or it doesn't work, you will have to then go through and remap all of your controls, and the main ones that change are these. For me, it's because I use keyboard and mouse. These mouse controls just turn off totally, and you cannot use the mouse whatsoever, which is an absolute bloody nightmare. So there you go. Give it a go. If you have any trouble, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want a full keyboard and mouse, or if you want a full PS controller or Xbox controller, however, bindings video, you just let me know and I will do my best. And until next time, Liz Ryder, an engineer based in the Arabia. Damn you, Lucas Vincent. I'm just reading what's happening down here. Until next time, arrivederci, Alfonso Bonzo.